Welcome, dear listeners, to another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're really embarking on something profound, I think. We're looking into the architecture of a whole new way of life.
Yeah, it's much more than just stopping something, isn't it?
Exactly. We're diving into the final 4 steps of a well-known recovery program, steps 9 through 12.
The action steps, really.
Right. And this isn't like finishing a course or, getting a certificate.
No graduation ceremony here.
No. Instead, we're unpacking what the program itself calls a design for living.
I like that phrase. Designed for living.
It really captures it. It's a pathway that, well, once you embrace it, it becomes this continuous source of daily maintenance, spiritual growth.
Building something sustainable.
Yes. Building a fulfilling, purpose-driven life. Something, honestly, probably richer than you could have imagined back in the struggle.
That's often the experience, yeah.
Now, to help us understand this, we'll be drawing insights from some really foundational texts.
The classic.
The classics, exactly. Primarily, Alcoholics Anonymous, the big book, as most know it,
Can't do without that one.
and 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, the 12 and 12.
Which really fleshes out the steps.
It does, and we'll also weave in some wisdom from places like Daily Reflections, maybe Came to Believe, Living Sober, even some historical context from Dr. Bob and the Good Old Timers.
A good mix of sources.
Our mission today, to really pull out the key nuggets from all these sources. We want to help you understand not just what these steps are,
But the why. Why they matter.
precisely why they matter for building this well-informed, intentional life, whether you're in recovery or just interested in, a framework for living well.
And what's so fascinating, I think, is how these last steps really solidify everything that came before.
How so?
Well, up to this point, a lot of the heavy lifting has been internal, right? Self-assessment, connecting with a higher power.
So step 4, inventory. Step 5,
Yeah, intense stuff.
intense internal work. But now these steps, 9 through 12, they pivot. They shift the focus from inside.
Outwards. To action. To sustain daily practice. It's like moving from understanding the blueprints.
To actually building the house.
Exactly, from understanding principles to actively living them, day in, day out, in everything you do.
Which brings up a huge question, doesn't it?
Huh.
How do you actually do that? How do you translate all that internal change into a way of life that, sticks, that keeps going?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And step 9 is where that outward action really kicks off.
Okay, let's dive right in then. Step 9. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others.
A big one.
Huge! And like you said, it's not just, oh, sorry about that, to make yourself feel better.
No, it's got to be more than a perfunctory apology. It's about courageous action, tangible action.
But with that massive caveat,
Exception clause. Except when to do so would injure. That's critical.
it requires so much care, doesn't it? Timing, judgment.
Yeah. Prudence. The 12 and 12 really hammers this home. It talks about needing good judgment, a careful sense of timing, courage, and prudence.
That blend.
Exactly that blend.
Rivet.
Because, and this is so important, without those qualities, a well-intentioned amend could actually cause more harm.
Right, it could totally backfire.
Totally. It's not about some reckless, guilt-dumping confession just to clear your conscience.
No, it has to be strategic, thoughtful.
Following on from step 8, where you made that list of people you'd harmed, step 9 is about correcting those wrongs, but with real intent and care for the other person.
Not just for your own relief.
Precisely. The aim is healing, or at least peace for them too.
Yeah.
Imagine just blurting out something thoughtlessly.
Yeah, focusing only on how bad you feel.
It often makes the other person feel worse, dismissed, or even hurt all over again. Prudence is the guardrail against that.
It prevents those ego-driven apologies.
Exactly. The ones that only serve the person making the amends.
And the big book, it emphasizes this need for action after step 7, right? After asking for defects to be removed.
It does. It says more action is needed. And famously, faith without works is dead.
That really hits home. Just thinking about it, or even feeling spiritually ready, isn't the whole picture.
Not enough. There has to be that tangible, real-world reconciliation, moving from intention to, well, restitution.
Making things right. Actually doing it.
Wherever it's safe and genuinely helpful, yes. Demonstrating the change through your actions.
So after making the list in step 8, we move to direct amends. But that warning is key.
It's embedded right there. Avoid complete disclosures that do them, or others, more harm than good.
This is where that wisdom, that prudence comes in.
Absolutely. You have to assess each situation on its own merits, often with help, like from a sponsor.
Asking, is this really for their healing, or is it just me needing to get this off my chest?
That's the core question. The big book gives an example, doesn't it, about not needlessly naming someone involved in, say, jealousy or infidelity if it would just spread the harm.
Right, if it would destroy a family or hurt innocent people.
Or reveal something that causes huge problems for someone else entirely. The design for living applies to everyone involved.
So both sides can eventually forget the harm and move on. Find peace.
Restore, don't inflict new wounds. That's the goal.
Interestingly, the challenge isn't always just managing the other person's potential reaction, is it?
No. Sometimes it's about our own internal state when we approach the amend. The 12 and 12 talks about this.
How a temper or a grudge can make us ineffective.
Right. A burst of temper could spoil a day, and a well-nursed grudge could make us miserably ineffective. That applies to how we approach amends now.
If we haven't dealt with our own stuff first.
Exactly. Our own lingering resentment, shame, maybe defensiveness. If we go into an amend carrying all that,
It's likely to go badly.
very likely. The text even warns about emotional dry benders, things like jealousy, envy, self-pity, hurt pride.
Being just as damaging as drinking.
Can be. It highlights the need for a real internal shift before taking that external action. You need to be coming from a place of humility, honesty, emotional stability.
You need to be clear-headed.
Free and clear-headed, ready for a sensitive, potentially difficult conversation.
Thinking about the history, the early days, Sister Ignatia saw so many transformations through this, didn't she?
Oh, absolutely. Working so closely with Dr. Bob in Akron, she had a front row seat.
And she recalled a story, a powerful example of someone making amends.
She did. She remembered a man who'd made a particularly tough amend. And he came back and said,
What was it?
he said, do you know, I have the finest feeling. I feel that they are my best friends.
Wow, that's powerful.
Isn't it? So simple, but it shows the deep peace and serenity that can come from doing this sincerely and carefully.
It speaks to that desire for forgiveness of others and myself.
That's the heart of it. It's not just fixing relationships, it's ending that awful isolation, that self-condemnation.
Forging real connections again, restoring trust.
Finding dignity, where maybe there was only shame before.
So, connecting this back, step 9 isn't just one size fits all.
Not at all. Life's too messy for that.
And the 12 and 12 recognizes this, right? It breaks down different types of amends.
Yes, it offers really practical guidance for different scenarios. It helps avoid mistakes.
So what are these categories?
Well, first, there are amends to be made promptly, as soon as you feel reasonably solid in your sobriety.
The straightforward ones.
Often, yeah. Harm is clear, direct action helps both sides, like returning something stolen or apologizing for a recent specific wrong.
Okay. What else?
Then, situations might call for only partial restitution. Or sometimes, action ought to be deferred.
Deferred. Why would you wait?
Crucially important. Maybe the other person isn't ready. Maybe you're not emotionally ready. Rushing could cause that harm we talked about.
So patience is key.
Patience and discernment. And partial restitution might be admitting a pattern like dishonesty to an old boss without detailing every single instance if it causes unnecessary legal trouble or implicates others.
Makes sense. Are there times you can't make a direct amend?
Yes, the text acknowledges that. In some rare cases, by the very nature of the situation, we shall never be able to make direct personal contact at all.
Why might that be?
Person might have moved, passed away. Or, critically, if making contact would genuinely cause severe harm, emotional, physical to them, or maybe even to you.
So what do you do then?
The amend becomes indirect. Often it's about living differently now, maybe helping others who are in similar situations to the one you caused harm in. A living amend.
Okay, I see. It's a complex process.
It is. And it starts what the big book calls a long period of reconstruction.
Not just a quick fix.
Definitely not. It's a continuous journey, rebuilding trust with others, and importantly with yourself, repairing the past.
And this phase teaches us how to live a spiritual life.
That's it. This is where the internal work meets external responsible action. It creates a new way of being, honest, considerate, with integrity.
And that paves the way for the next steps, right? The ongoing maintenance.
Exactly. Which brings us to steps 10 and 11.
The bedrock of ongoing sobriety, you called them.
I think they are. They're the core of daily spiritual maintenance, shifting from fixing the past to living mindfully, spiritually, right now.
Day by day, hour by hour.
Moment by moment sometimes. The key principle here is that idea of a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition.
A daily reprieve, contingent on maintenance. That sounds demanding.
It implies vigilance, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sobriety isn't something you achieve and then coast. It needs active, continuous upkeep.
Like tending a garden.
Perfect analogy.
Right.
Stop tending it and the weeds come back fast. Consistent practice is essential.
So step 10, this introduces the spot check inventory, which isn't like the big step 4 inventory, is it?
No, step 4 was the deep dive into the past. Step 10 is real time, in the moment. A quick pulse check throughout the day.
Catching things before they escalate.
Exactly. Proactive spiritual hygiene, nipping problems in the bud.
So how does it work?
The advice is to continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear.
The big 4 troublemakers.
The 4 horsemen, yeah. And when these crop up, it says we ask God at once to remove them.
Immediately.
At once. Then we discuss them with someone immediately.
Talk it out.
And make amends quickly if we have harmed anyone. Swift correction.
And then
Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help.
shift the focus off yourself.
Right. Acknowledge it, address it spiritually and practically, then get out of self. It's a continuous cycle of self-correction.
That sounds like it fosters humility.
A deeper and better understanding of humility, as one reflection puts it, constantly admitting faults and seeking guidance.
And action is the magic word.
Yeah, identifying the feeling isn't enough. Taking that swift action, a quick prayer, a call, an apology, a shift in focus, that's what changes things.
An unremitting inventory. It sounds constant.
It becomes a background process almost, an active, protective practice keeping you grounded.
But how do you weave that into a busy life? It sounds like a lot.
Well, the big book gives very practical anchors for this, tied into step 11. Specific things to do upon awakening and when we retire.
Like bookending the day.
Exactly, a spiritual hygiene routine.
So what's the morning routine?
On awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. Before we begin, we ask God to direct our thinking.
Setting the intention.
Especially asking that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. Aligning your thoughts with a higher purpose right from the start.
Instead of just waking up and worrying.
Or letting old patterns take over, it's an act of surrender.
And at night.
We constructively review our day.
Constructively, not beating yourself up.
No, it's a calm, honest look back. Where was I kind? Where did I fall short? Was I helpful or self-seeking? Did resentments or fears creep in?
And acknowledge those things.
Acknowledge them, perhaps make a note to address them tomorrow. It fosters peace, helps manage the day's chaos. There's that reflection about focusing on God's will instead of problems.
It worked.
It worked. It shows the practical power of these simple, consistent practices.
So this daily practice, morning and night, plus the spot checks, this is how you improve conscious contact with a higher power, which is step 11.
That's the core of it, yes.
Yeah.
The 12 and 12 goes deeper into what that means.
Beyond just the mechanics.
Right. It identifies prayer and meditation as the main channels to that higher power.
The ways you connect.
Exactly. And prayer here isn't about bending God's will to yours.
No.
As Daily Reflections puts it, it changes my attitude toward God. It's about aligning your will, surrendering self-will, seeking guidance.
Opening yourself up.
And meditation is described as that quiet time without words.
Just being still.
Creating space to listen, tuning out the noise, tuning in to maybe intuition or that quieter guidance, leading to being physically relaxed, emotionally calm, mentally focused, and spiritually aware.
That sounds incredibly helpful, especially when things feel chaotic.
Crucial for discerning healthy impulses from old patterns, becoming, centered.
But it's not always easy, right? Sometimes prayer feels impossible.
Absolutely. The texts are very realistic about this, all of us. Pass through times when we can pray only with the greatest exertion of will.
Days of doubt or just feeling dry.
Exactly. Spiritual dryness happens, defiance happens. The advice: we should simply resume prayer as soon as we can, doing what we know to be good for us.
Keep coming back to it.
Persistence, like the wearing away of a stone by steady drops of water. That consistent effort, even when it feels hard, leads to spiritual success.
It's a long-term commitment.
A continuous process of seeking, refining, deepening that connection. And remember, for those struggling with traditional concepts, the program stresses God as you understand Him.
That flexibility is key.
It allows for a personal, evolving spirituality. Finding a power greater than yourself is the focus.
Okay, so all this work amends. Daily inventory, prayer, meditation leads somewhere. Step 12.
The capstone, the result.
And it has 3 parts.
3 distinct but interconnected parts, as the 12 and 12 lays out. First, Having a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps.
The awakening.
Second, carrying the message to others still suffering.
Service.
And third, practicing these principles in all our affairs.
Taking it into every corner of life.
The key word, really, is joy of living. That's the outcome.
Let's break that down. The spiritual awakening. Is it always dramatic?
Not necessarily. The texts are clear on that. It's the result of these steps, but often
Yeah.
it's more gradual. A new state of consciousness and being.
How do you know it's happened?
The promises in the Big Book are often seen as the evidence. Things like fears falling away, peace emerging, interest in selfish things lessening.
Regret for the past diminishing.
Exactly. An entirely changed attitude and outlook upon life.
Mm.
It's described as a sense of well-being, a feeling of peace.
The inner turmoil quiets down.
It disappears into a new dimension of hope, love, and peace. It's a fundamental shift.
From self-centeredness.
To an outgoing attitude, there's that reflection connecting attitude and action, the two A's in AA. The attitude changes through the action.
Which leads right into the second part. Carrying the message.
Service. And this isn't just presented as a good idea.
No.
It's fundamental. Our 12th step, carrying the message, is the basic service that AA's fellowship gives. This is our principal aim and the main reason for our existence.
Wow. The main reason for existing.
That's how central it is, not just for personal sobriety, but for the whole fellowship's vitality.
And the motivation isn't just staying sober yourself.
Initially, maybe. The Big Book says members must help other alcoholics if they would remain sober. But then,
It becomes secondary.
that motive became secondary. It was transcended by the happiness they found in giving themselves to others.
So it becomes joyful, not just functional.
A source of profound joy and purpose. It's seen as this gift from God, passed from alcoholic to alcoholic.
It's that unique identification.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sharing experience, strength, and hope. And the act itself reinforces your own recovery. God can only do for me what he can do through me.
It keeps the wellspring flowing.
Prevents slipping back into self-centeredness. Chapter 7 in the Big Book, Working with Others, really details how to do this effectively. Attraction, not promotion. Sharing your story.
Compassionately.
Yes, with understanding.
Okay, and the third part. Practicing these principles in all our affairs.
This is where it becomes truly holistic.
Yep.
Integrating everything, honesty, humility, tolerance, service, into every part of life.
Not just recovery meetings.
No. Work, family, finances, friendships, managing stress. Every situation becomes a place to apply these principles.
Transforming difficulty with living into a joy of living.
That's the promise. It means applying honesty at work, patience with family, humility when you mess up.
It even talks about reorienting basic instincts.
Yes, the 12 and 12 mentions instincts for security, companionship, sex things that are natural and God-given.
But got distorted.
Exactly. Distorted by self-will and active addiction. The program helps restore them to their true purpose, bringing balance and health.
So it's about bringing spiritual alignment everywhere.
Everywhere. This ongoing practice cultivates gratitude, a full and thankful heart, and leads to outgoing love.
Which sounds like the opposite of addiction's isolation.
It truly is. This deep integration makes sobriety not just sustainable, but rich and meaningful, a life you actually want to live.
Yeah, so wrapping this up, steps 9 through 12 aren't an ending.
Not at all. They're the start of a continuous way of life, a design for living.
Integrating amends, daily self-checks, spiritual connection, and service.
Courageous action, consistent reflection, conscious contact, contribution.
It transforms just not drinking into, well, purpose, contentment, growth.
A life filled with meaning.
And like you said, the journey never really ends.
It's that daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Always ongoing.
Accepting that even challenges have a purpose.
Yeah.
That God moves in mysterious ways.
It cultivates humility, gratitude, constant evolution, finding grace even in the hard stuff.
It's an invitation to live on that road of happy destiny the Big Book talks about.
The fellowship of the Spirit.
A path of continuous discovery and surrender. So, the question left for you, the listener, is perhaps, what does it mean for you to embrace a design for living that fosters ongoing growth and service, seeing it not as a destination, but as the journey itself?
A powerful question to live with day by day.